This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Mr. James Douglas. How are you, sir?
Excellent.
Good to hear.
Right.
Have you been keeping yourself entertained during this pandemic that we're all going through at the moment in the world?
Yeah, just watching a lot of movies. Just chilling, kicking back, staying inside the house.
Yeah, I think that's a global message to everybody. Just keep yourself in your house and try and keep yourself safe.
Yeah, that's it. Stay away from people.
Stay away from people, absolutely. James, let's jump straight into it. Obviously, this is the 30th year anniversary of one of the biggest moments in sporting boxing history ever. How many times do people want to talk to you about this on the street? I'm assuming all the time that people coming up to you wanting to talk to you about what happened in Tokyo back in 1990.
Yeah, at least once a week, twice a week. You know, somebody say something about it, mention it.
How much of it do you remember like it's yesterday? Do you remember the whole fight?
Oh yeah, everything. Training, everything. Remember it all very well.
James, what do you remember about how the media were towards you leading up to that fight?
That was funny because we had a press conference. We had individual press conferences in Tokyo. And we came out for our press conference, which we were second. You know, Tyson did his first. Then when I came in to do mine, the room was like disarray. Chairs were turned over, and it was just as if it was, you know, we were coming in to clean up because it was all like 6 or 7 reporters there in the front row. And then the rest of the building, the rest of the room was just disarray. Tables, chairs were turned over, where it was like we were the cleanup crew or something. And the reporters that was there that were asking me were like asking me basic questions, not really basic questions. They were saying, what color trunks were you going to be wearing? How was your day here in Tokyo? You know, basic stuff. It wasn't nothing about really anything pertaining to the fight itself, you know, about the strategy or, you know, basically it was left, how could they identify the body? So they was asking what color trunks I was wearing, what color shoes, you know. It was really hilarious.
James, did you get a feeling at all from any member of the media that they were giving you any kind of chance in that fight?
No, not at all. I mean, the whole time I was in Tokyo, it was basically, it was his show. You know, they were just making sure I show up to press conferences and open gym workouts. It was nothing major, nothing significant that was going on. It was really, it could have been really disheartening if you'd have been into that type of stuff. But it was very encouraging for me because it just felt like it's just how I thought it was going to be. So, you know, total disrespect.
Aside from the 10th round, the most obviously notable round aside from that was round 8, and it's a round that people still talk about now, and Mike still talks about that round 8 now. How do you kind of reflect on that round?
Yeah, I was only thinking of, I actually stopped fighting that round. You know, in the middle of the fight, literally, it was like, you know, wanting to look at him like, yeah, what you think about me now? You know, sucker. You know, and that's when I got caught with that shot because I wanted to let him know that I was in his butt, you know, and it was just, what do you think about me now? And he showed me by catching me with that punch. So it just showed me that he was still alive, you know, still in there trying to get me. But, you know, that moment of, even my father, that was the funniest thing about it when I came back home and went over to my dad's house and walked into the house. The first thing he came and told me, he said, well, you got overconfident in the 8th round. And he was right, because I did. I was basically kind of got out of focus of my mission, which was kicking his butt, and wanted to reflect in the middle of the fight, wanting to reflect, look at him like, yeah, what do you think about me now? And he caught me with that good shot.
James, when you realised in the 10th round that Tyson wasn't going to make the count, what was the first things you remember thinking about as soon as you'd realised that he wasn't going to make that 10 count?
Well, it was basically the childhood dream come true that I actually succeeded in becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. Because I thought he was going to get up until I seen him scrubbing around, reaching for that mouthpiece. I knew he wasn't coherent, because we either got straight up, then the referee would have got the mouthpiece and got it rinsed off and stuck it back in his mouth before he would let him continue to fight. But I knew about him looking around for that mouthpiece that he was actually hurt. He wasn't coherent.
How was your attitude towards the media after that? You just said to me before that they're asking you questions like what colour trunks you're going to be wearing, etc. So you've just knocked out Mike Tyson. What was the attitude of the press in Tokyo that night towards you, when obviously everybody and their fathers and mothers and grandparents wanted to talk to you at that point?
Well, it was basically, I was like, could care less, because I just did it. And of course they probably wanted to talk to me, but it was more so the controversy started right after that. It was really an enjoyable moment until I got out the ring and went back to the dressing room and went back to the hotel. That's when they told me that it was going to be a hell of a press conference over this alleged long count. So that's when it started. The nightmare started.
James, have you seen the video that Mike released recently, a short 6-second clip of him hitting the pads? Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
What did you think of that?
On comeback. Yeah, it was all right. It was,
No, he's somewhere right now. I got you.
Yeah, it was all right. He looked good.
I mean, he's made some comments about potentially coming back to fight in an exhibition, etc. What do you think about that at Mike's age now?
That's pretty good. That's good. I think it's every man over 50 encouraging thing that we still got it. Yeah, it looks good. I'm looking at it now. It looks good. It was a very positive message that, we still got it. We're still in this game. Not in the game, but we're still in the fight.
When you look at the heavyweight scene now, James, who do you class as the best heavyweight on the planet today?
Really, it's day to day, because you have a couple of good fights and then come back and get defeated. So I think it's still even, for someone to show some dominance. It's kind of hard to rate them. Right now, it looks like, Joshua seems to has an edge on everyone. But like I said, every time someone fights, is kind of odds kind of change. It seems to be very competitive, but it's just like the top three: Joshua, Wilder, and the new champion, Fury. So, it's fluctuating between those three guys. But right now, I would have to say Fury, because Fury beat the man, Wilder, and Joshua. That's what I'm saying. It depends on it's daily, but those are the top three, definitely.
Were you shocked by Tyson Fury's win against Wilder back in February? The way he done it?
Not really, because he was close to doing it the first time. I was at that fight now. He had it then, but he kind of, he got caught. Wilder came and caught him at the end of the fight. So it's touch and go. That's what I'm saying. It's daily, fight to fight now. They're really seeing a dominance. It's going to take one of the big three to come in and beat the other two and then beat a couple other guys to show his dominance. Right now, that's what I say it's match to match.
I'm from the UK, and obviously the fight that we really want to see is between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Who would you back in that fight, James, if that fight was to happen?
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. And toss-up. Who's going to be the main focus in that fight? One day you can say Fury, the next day you can say Joshua. They're both good heavyweights. And they come to fight, it's going to be one heck of a fight.
And you believe that Deontay Wilder, after suffering that defeat to Tyson Fury, he can come back and he can be back in the mix?
Between the three of them, Wilder is the biggest challenge because now we're going to see how he comes back after a loss. Because he's been winning all these years. Now he's came back. This next time he goes into the ring, he's coming in after a big major loss, and to see how he recuperates, how mentally, how damaging that was, his loss. But right now, the two best heavyweights are Fury and Joshua. And Wilder's there too, but the question with Wilder, like I just said, is how good can he recover after the first major loss in his career.
Talking about Anthony Joshua, James, people compare his defeat to Ruiz as big a shock as your win over Tyson. What do you think about that?
That's flattering. Just to be considered after all these years as having an impact on the heavyweight division, and that's flattering. I don't have no problem with that.
Okay, so what have you been doing? What do you do day to day now? I mean, obviously we're in this kind of lockdown pandemic situation, but what's your everyday life? What are you up to, James?
Basically, got a big old contained clear glass over the top of the house. Containment. Got oxygen being pumped in. Just basically staying out the way.
Staying out the way and hoping for better days.
Hoping for better days. And I think they're coming around, but, I'm still leery. But they're basically just, trying to survive, man, like everybody else. Trying to do the right things and be safe.
Absolutely. Okay, James, I'm not going to take any more up of your time. I appreciate you talking to us. Absolute pleasure to talk to you. And thank you to your son as well that helped arrange this interview, your son, Artie. So just keep yourself safe, James.
You do the same, my man. All the best. Hope to see you one day.
Definitely will, 100%. Thank you very much.
Excellent.